Hello all, welcome to session 4 of SelectorsHub training series. In this session, I am going to practically show you how to auto-generate different types of locators for the different UL elements in different ways using SelectorsHub. So let's get started. SelectorsHub not only auto-generates the XPath and CSS selector locators for any given UL element, but also it auto-generates different type of possible locators for that particular UL element, say ID locator, name locator, class locator, all the other type of locators possible for that particular UL element. SelectorsHub can auto-generate, guys, or suggest. Now in this session, apart from showing you this, I'll also show you the different ways of locating or using the SelectorsHub as part of auto generating the locators. There are different ways you can use the auto generation functionality of the SelectorsHub. I'll show you practically, you will understand. The first way is right click inspect. Okay, by right clicking on any given UL element and selecting this inspect option, you can get the locators of the right clicked UL element. For example, if I go to this application my.blogspot.com, okay, after going to this application, let's say there is a button here, search button. So if I have to auto generate the different possible locators for the search button, okay, if I have to auto generate using SelectorsHub, if I want to auto generate the different type of locators, possible locators for the search button, I have to right click on the search button and select inspect option. This is the first way, guys. Right click on any given UL element and selecting the inspect option is the first way. The moment you right click on the UL element and select inspect option, you see the HTML code of this particular search button will be displayed here under the elements tab. Once the elements tab is selected here, there are subtabs on the right side. You just need to go to the subtabs like styles, everything is there. Just click on this more option and select the SelectorsHub. Okay. The moment you select the SelectorsHub, the the locators, auto-generated locators for the search button, all the possible locators for the search button will be displayed here. Not only XPath and CSS selector, guys, but also class name. Okay, whatever the possible locators are there for the search button will be given by the SelectorsHub here. You see JS path, tag name, absolute XPath, relative XPath, CS selectors, class name, all the possible locators. Now, if I want to get auto-generate the possible locators for this button, say click to get alert, right click, you will not get the same list again. You see, for search button, we got a class name. Along with the XPath and CSS, we got the class name and other stuff. But for this button, what are the possible locators? Right click on this button and select inspect option. You see, for this particular button, we got ID locator. ID locator is possible for this button. Apart from ID, we have the same XPath, CSS, JS path, and all the remaining stuff. Now, like that, you can go with anything, guys. For example, if I go with this drop down button, right click inspect. Okay, for this class name is possible, and all the other type of locators are possible. So, like this, guys, what are the possible locators for the given selected UL elements? If you right click and inspect, the SelectorsHub will auto generate here, right? That is the first way. So, what is the second way of auto generating the locators using SelectorsHub for the given or specified UL elements? Okay, using the inspect option of DevTools. The second way is using the inspector option of the DevTools. For example, here, so far I right clicked and inspected, right? If I don't want to right click on this UL element and select inspect, there is another way. Once the SelectorsHub functionality is open here, okay, once the SelectorsHub functionality is open here, what I will do here is I'll use this inspect option of this Google Chrome DevTools. Okay, I'll use the inspector option of this Google Chrome DevTools. How to use this option, inspect option? Just select this option, guys. Hover the mouse on whatever the UL element for which you want to auto generate. For example, I would like to hover the mouse on this multi selection box field. Okay, this one. You see, after selecting this inspect, the Google Chrome DevTools inspect option, go to this multi selection box field and select here. You see, the SelectorsHub has already auto generated the different possible locators for this multi selection box field. You see, this is the relative XPath CSS. This is the ID is possible here, guys. Okay, so different possible locators are possible here. Let's say text area field. So if I want to auto generate the different type of possible locators for this text area field, again select this Google Chrome DevTools inspect option and hover the mouse on the specified option. Click on this, and then move the mouse. Once the UL element is selected, select it, click on that. Now it got auto generated. Okay, you see ID, XPath, and everything came. So any other stuff here? Let's say this button. Let's select this button. Okay, the button. Okay, these are the locators of this button. Like the different things will come on, guys. Okay, this is how we. There are different ways. So first two ways are completed by right click inspect. From the right click menu option, select the inspect option, or using the inspect option of the dev tools, which I have just now shown. Apart from that, you can click on the HTML DOM. Okay, the HTML code displayed in the elements tab. Here you see there is an elements tab here in the Google Chrome DevTools, right? You can select the HTML code here, whatever the HTML code you see here. Okay, if you select this HTML code, then for this particular selected HTML code line, the selectors hub will auto generate it. For example, if I expand this div and maybe I will select this, okay, disable enable button. Okay, there's something like this. If I select this one, you see this HTML code is referring to this heading, disable enable button kind of label heading, right? So when I select this one, automatically selectors hub will auto generate the different possible locators for this particular selected HTML code. For this selected HTML code which is referring to this particular label, these are the locators. Okay, if you want to uh, auto generate the locators using selectors hub for this particular line of HTML code, select this. You see the selectors hub has auto generated the possible locators for this button tag related HTML code. For this HTML code, these are the selectors or locators, and in the UI you see for this particular HTML code this button is getting highlighted, right? So this is the third way, guys. By clicking on the particular line of HTML code in this entire HTML document or under the elements tab, you can, the selectors hub will detect your action here. Okay, whatever you are clicking for that particular thing in the HTML code, the locators will be auto generated by the selectors hub. That is the third way, guys. Fourth way is inspecting different type of locators using selectors hub for different UI elements. Okay, okay, so if I go here, inspecting different type of locators using select for different UI elements. So for different UI elements, different locators are possible. I already explained that, right? For example, for this login button, if I inspect some login button, the possible locators for the login button will come. Here ID is not coming, class name is not coming, name is not coming, only relative X path, relative CS selector, JS path, absolute X, only these 5 are coming here. Okay. For this particular login button, how many possible locators are there? 5. If I go with another one, okay, if I go with another one like this text area field, how many locators are possible here? Here also 5, but different ID is there here. Okay, if I go with this button 2, you see we are getting 6 5 only. Okay, this is also 5. If I go with this login button, let's see, I'm just trying different things, guys. This is also 5. What about this one? Inspect. This is also 5, but this time another possible locator came, link text. You see, for HTML, for this hyperlink, we are getting a different type of locator like link text, partial link text. Okay, if I go to another application, say tutorialsninja.com/demo application, I right click on the search button, inspect it. In the selectors hub, how many locators are coming? Let's see. You see, many are coming here this time, right? Okay, many are coming. Relative CSS selector, relative XPath, class name, JS path. So far 4, absolute XPath 5, tag name 6. 6 are coming for this particular button. For the search box field, 5 are coming. Okay, name locator is coming. If you go to the login page, you see for different UL elements, different possible locators are possible, guys. Okay. Here for this email address, ID and name, both ID and name locators are possible for this email address field, guys. Okay. Apart from XPath and CSS and you see ID, name, class name, 3 things are possible for this email address. If I go to the password field, again, like ID, name, class name, relative XPath, relative CS selector are possible. Okay, different UL elements will have different possible locators, guys. Here link text is coming for this continue button. Link text locator is coming. So hope guys you understood, right? These are the different ways of inspecting. Whatever way you can choose, guys. Okay, you can choose the first way, second way, third way, whatever the way you want to inspect the elements, you can choose it. Okay, according to your flexibility and the needs, you can use any of these ways of inspecting the UL elements and auto generating the locators, different possible locators for different selected UL elements. Okay, for different UL elements, selectors hub will, okay, is very advanced that it can think for this particular UL element what are the possible locators, and it will auto generate and show you. Okay, so hope guys you understood how to auto generate different type of locators in different ways using SelectorsHub in this session. So that's it, guys. See you in the next video session. Thank you. Bye.